It's I, Kirk99, and today, now, when it comes to pets, some people may have many pets like lizards, snakes, fish, chinchillas, that kind of thing. But there's one kind of pet that's not necessarily seen as much, but if you are looking to own one, there are some things that you definitely need to take into consideration. First, today is all about the domestic ferret. Welcome you back to Reptile Planet. Alright then, so as you know that I have two ferrets of my own named Nico and Carl. So right now, as in consideration, Carl fell asleep minutes after I let him out to play, and Nico's back right behind me playing with one of his toys. So basically, when you're getting ready to own a ferret, there are a lot of things you need to take into consideration before you get one. And let's start with the first one is that let's do some basic research on what a ferret is. Okay, this is Nico. He is my 3-year-old ferret. Now his brother Carl, who's asleep, I know I don't want to his nap right now. So this is a ferret. For many of you who probably don't know, or probably have no idea, but just going to see one in person. So ferrets are relatively small animals. They are very playful, very active, little animals. Bless you, buddy. You sneezing. But yeah, so Nico is about 3 years old. Now ferrets don't necessarily get, well, too huge depending on how they're bred, depending on how they're raised. But some of them do come in very big sizes, others can be a little bit smaller. But I know, like, you guys saw that Nico is a bit more bigger than Carl is. It's like, hey, what are you doing? That's the camera, though. That's the camera. But yeah, ferrets are relatively small. They only get around like 12 inches. But I tend to nickname them dog with cat-like tendencies. Because they are small like most cats and most dogs. Oh, I don't want you to fall. They're smaller than most cats and most dogs. They usually litter box like a cat. They do play kind of like cats or something like dogs. Yeah, litter box, they play like dogs. They do tend to be very, very messy, but if you can handle that, that's no problem. So ferrets, sometimes some ferrets do get quite a reasonable size, or they can be kind of like a little big, but also kind of like on the small side. Now ferrets do tend to be very active. They do like to play. They do like to be roaming around, being curious about their surroundings, that kind of thing. So a lot of things are taken into consideration. That they don't get quite big, so they're not necessarily going to take up like your whole household. And like ferrets are very social animals, like socializing with other animals, other ferrets, as well as us, but do need to be socialized at a young age. So that's the kind of background of a ferret. They are descendants of European polecats. So basically, they're kind of like the closest relative. Difference is European polecats tend to be solitary. Ferrets are basically social animals, and yeah. So, but caring for a ferret comes in many different ways that people tend to let them have different setups that they have for the ferrets. That way they won't be like having behavioral problems, depression, that kind of thing. So let's also talk about the kind of housing that you need for a ferret. Okay, so this is my ferret enclosure right here. It's about, is it 1, 2, 3, 4 stories high. It's about, it kind of almost like almost around 5 foot tall, 5 foot 4, 5 foot 4, almost 5 5. So a lot of stuff needs to take into consideration. So for ferrets to let them fall asleep, you have a hammock here and another one here. A lot of times they'll sleep together, they'll sleep separately, they'll do a bit of both. Like they'll sleep either together or apart. But like as long as they're getting along, that's one thing. I have mats here that are comfortable, that won't be like scratching this the whole time because like they're playing. So like that, make it comfortable for them. So something like this is definitely good because ferrets can be placed like in the clothing that way you out and about doing something. You can set them on something like this. People have a like building ability like two storage ones. That's in this bigger space, I have a multi-story, multi-level enclosure. I have a rub mat, that way they can like put the bathroom on it, do whatever with it. They dig it up, you dig under the tree, they'll pick on it, and that needs to be brushed. So a lot of times, like, a clip like this is beneficial. There are a lot of other like benefits for ferrets. That way, like, you go somewhere, they can have somewhere to put them, and like, like that way. But also has to be secure because ferrets do tend to be escape artists. So this does lock, so it locks right here, and that way it closes it. That way it's secure. They can't open it, they can't fit through, and then nothing. So that's what the enclosure that you need when you're trying to own a ferret. A lot of the essential stuff with it, toys, place to sleep, plus a place where they can like go in and out from. But you don't want to keep them contained like all day. Like they're, like I said, they're very active, so need like be like a nice space for them to run around, play with, like play either with you or another ferret. Might let them run around, do whatever. Make sure like you also keep a close eye on them because they can be mischievous. So like they do tend to stash a few things. Like yeah, they'll stash like a lot of different things. Like Nico tried to stash the soles in my shoes. They'll try to stash my water shoes, as you guys probably saw. They'll stash. Nico is the main stasher. Like, he'll stash his toys. So he'll try to stash the little tunnel thing that I got him. They'll try to stash a few things, but the toys is fine. The water shoes, I might need those. So I don't think I'm stashing that. Yeah, he's like looking at me, so it's like, what's going on? I'm like, hey buddy. So yeah, Nico's the main stasher. Like he stashes a few things. It's my little hand. But yeah, but ferrets tend to be very, very friendly, depending on how they're. So if you do raise them to be social, spend some time with them, interact with them, they will know to like release you. They won't be afraid of you. Like there won't be behavioral issues. They won't get like scared, aggressive, that kind of thing. So like look at Nico. He's friendly as a cucumber. What are you doing? Look at this. Look at this. He's like, what's going on here? What's that? Can I have that? I don't know you can have that, buddy. I don't know you can have that. That's the camera. Say hi. Everybody say hi. Alright, they're very funny. But yeah, the ferrets do need a lot of stuff to make sure they have a nice environment to thrive around. You don't want to keep them like in a cage all day, because if you do that, they're gonna get depressed. They're gonna have these behavioral issues. You know, like it's not gonna turn away. You just leave them in a cage all day. Let them roam around. Let them like have like free roam. But it's also best to keep them like in a place where like they can't get anything. They do like to chew, so you have to make sure like you ferret-proof your house before you even get them. Ferret-proof. Make sure there's no wires they can chew on. Nothing like something like they can get you like underneath the dresser, like behind something that you won't be able to get them out from, because that's gonna hurt out bad. And if they get hurt in the process, it's gonna make the situation a lot worse. So yeah, those are characteristics that is for ferret. Now there is stuff they take into consideration like diet. So they do need a nice little healthy source of food and water. So what I have down here is kind of a food holder, like right here. Behind it, this is where the water is. So like it's like a little bottle. It's kind of like this. Instead of like having to like go to the bathroom every single time I refill this, and the water for them lasts for days. That way at least I know they have enough water. Now their food is right here. This way they need constant food. They need to eat continuously because their metabolism is fast. So they need to be eating constantly. So a constant level of food, a little holder for this. That way you like pour food in. That way you get a little bowl on the inside. Can supply the food to last them for days, weeks on end. That's perfect. There are some other things to consider what kind of food to feed your ferret. So there's different brands of food. So let me show you that. Okay, so technically ferrets do need a high protein diet as well as a litter box to let them do their business in. But a lot of times you have them out in the bounds, best leave pee pads all over the place. That way if you do have an accident, at least they do on the pee pad. But it does take a while to get to that, so it's best to like help them get through that. Have them get real like this is where you go to the bathroom, not on like the floor or carpet. That's the best way to do it. Help them like know like okay, this is where you go to the bathroom, not like so. So another thing is that ferrets, like I said, ferrets need a wide space to roam around. Like I do let them roam around my room and in the hallway, so that way they have plenty of space to roam around, zip around, tire themselves out. They'll be all over the place. Like they're not feeling stressed about it, like confined like in a tight space. They have a lot of space to go around and play and do sessions. So there's that. But it's good to let them like have some time outside of their enclosures. That way, like they need about 2 to 4 hours of playtime. I do try to give them as long as I possibly can. So like 2 hours, I do tend to meet that criteria, as well as around even longer than that. That way they get plenty of exercise, plenty of playtime. That way like they're not like hyperactive, stress out, that kind of thing. But these two tend to tire themselves out rather fast. So yeah, there's all that. So yeah, let them play around for a long period of time, 2 to 4 hours daily. So like not once a week, not like once every couple of days, every day, as many days you can, or even all day. Like they are required to have a lot of space. That way, give them time outside of their enclosure and don't just be confined the whole time. And the other thing is that, like I said before, ferrets are very social. So they do like to be around another companion. So that's why it's good to have more than one ferret. If you have 2, maybe 3, 4, that way like something to play with. But if they don't, you only have one ferret, you are the companion, because they can get depressed when they're by themselves. So that way it's like you have to be the companion. Like there is no way doing your own thing, going somewhere, leaving them alone. Like they want constant interaction, all the way to like till they fall, like they get tired of themselves out and they're trying to take a nap. But you are their companion until you at least like a friend. They'll bond basically with cats, dogs, other ferrets, like children. That way, like they said, they go with somebody. But if you can't be their best friend as well, if you can't like get them another friend to take care of them, you might want to try to suggest for another pet, because ferrets do need companionship. Because like it helps them like get socialized, more healthy. That way, like they have someone with them all times. That way, in case like you have to do something else, it's best to keep them like confined. If you're out and about, don't like leave them unattended. They do have to be attended. You have to keep watching them, because they do tend to get into a lot of things. So if you're out, if you're trying to leave and going out somewhere and come right back, it's best to just like let them be confined for a while to get back, or like just like have someone watch over them while you're gone. If you're taking a trip, you definitely need a babysitter, because you cannot leave these guys in their enclosure all the time. You will have behavioral problems. So yeah, it's best to let them be active, have a high protein diet, make sure they have a lot of stuff they need. And as well as the most important thing is their vaccinations. Like many like dogs, cats, guinea pigs, that kind of thing, they do need to be vaccinated. Don't plan on breeding them. They do need to be spayed and neutered. That way we have a random litter of kits. That way like you're not prepared for. If you are planning on breeding them, that's one thing. If you're not, that's against being neutered. And ferrets can be susceptible to certain diseases. So it's best to take them to the vet for checking the vaccinations. Mainly it's rabies that need vaccinations for. But if they do have a lot of other problems, they get them checked out, make sure everything's good, make sure that they're healthy, and that we don't have susceptible diseases developing. Another thing is that they do need to be bathed like once every like a month or two, because their skin can dry out and it cause a little irritation. So you don't bathe them like every day, it'll dry out their skin. So like once every like maybe a month or two. That way like they still have their silky skin, and that way plus ferrets do tend to stink. Ferrets can stink. So if you're good with that smell, terrific, but still good to give them a bath every now and again. Also, just in case it gets into something dirty. And also, it's like it's good to like take your ferret if you're like planning on going to hike or something. A lot of people take their ferrets out for hikes, take them out to the pet stores, and all, give them some time outside the house. It's also good to do that as well. So you need like a leash or a harness. That way, like a ferret, if you you don't want to leave your ferret off the leash, and they want to just running off somewhere, and next thing you know, there's another problem. If you have a harness and a leash, you do plan on taking them outside of the enclosure. You do tend to just walk around with them, and not on a leash, but have a harness on them at least. Get the pet carrier as a backpack, or like some of that, like at least some time outside. Maybe let them run on the grass a little bit. Like give them some time to get some fresh air. But yeah, so ferrets are amazing animals to have, but also they can be costly. Highly costly, because like the vaccinations can be expensive depending on like where you get them vaccinated at. Some places need like $200 for vaccinations to get both of them vaccinated. Other shelters sometimes do vaccinations, so they might be a little more cheaper than going to a vet. So like there's all that. But yeah, always best to do plenty of research, to that way you know like what kind of environment that you have. That way, hopefully, a ferret will be the best match for your house. So, but ferrets can be quite hard to find, and I know in California and Hawaii they are illegal to own in these two areas. So, like, if you do tend to have restrictions in certain states, it's best to check out to make sure it's legal to have them in certain areas. But as far as I know, Hawaii and California do not allow people to own ferrets. That's as far as I know. But yeah, always make sure you do research. Make sure you check up. Make sure you get the vaccination up to date. Make sure you have all their special diet, enclosure set up. Make sure you have plenty of their stuff, plenty of toys to play with. Give them plenty of interaction between you and other animals that you introduce them to. But if you do tend to introduce them to people like a new ferret or like other animals, take it slowly, because it can end badly. It's like to throw them in together, and next thing you know, they don't get along, and it's gonna be a problem. So introduce them very slowly. Like you can sense. Like, take the process nice and slow. Don't rush it. Like any new animal you bring to your house, make the process slow, timing, and it starts to develop a little bond. They start to get they don't fight. They don't cause problems with one another. Then everything should be okay. If they fight, you have to split them up and hopefully just take it very, very slowly. Okay, so that's basically all the stuff we do on ferrets. But don't just take my word for it. Do plenty of your own research. Ask lots of questions. Hopefully you'll get more and more idea of how to take care of a ferret. Also, basically what kind of needs they make. So do plenty of research. Ask a lot of questions. Hopefully that'll be your final decision. You want to look for a ferret. You're interested in getting a ferret. To research, ask a lot of questions. And if you believe you can take care of a ferret, and this is the prime animal that you want in your household, go for it. Is to make sure you do it responsibly, respectively, and make sure you give them the best care they can possibly hope for. Alright, that is it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like button, have any questions, post in the comments. Don't forget, subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys next time. See ya!